Ah. Hello, people. Today, probably I'm not looking the best. Probably I don't have the best conditions to talk. I've been studying for 4 hours straight, but I'm going to tell you how did I meet the freaking ambassador of my country in London. Which, yeah, you probably don't know the guy. I didn't know him as well before I met him. But I think it's an interesting story, and I had a good time while I met him. It all started when, I went for New Year's, I went to London, had the opportunity to go to London, and I called my parents, and he just said, like, laughing, hey, when I was calling my dad, I was walking through the center of London. I saw the Embassy of Canada. And I told my dad, "Hey, that's here. I'm close to the Embassy of Canada." He told me, "Hey, you know what would be a good idea if you met the ambassador of our country?" And I was like, "Yeah, right. That's impossible. There's no freaking way I can meet that guy. He's probably so occupied. He's doing democratic stuff. And then I thought, what happens if I actually try to meet him? Like, I don't know the guy. He seemed really cool. I think he did a seminar in Harvard and he met the Queen. So that's really good. Like, if you met the Queen, that has been like one of my dreams since I was a kid. Like, I still have, this is weird that a full 19-year-old dude has photos of the Queen in his room, but I really like the Queen. She was one of my heroes. Like, she was one of the people I looked up to. Yeah, I will probably never be the King of England because I have 0% royal blood. Well, who knows? Who fucking knows? Nobody knows. And I'm not British, so I think that would be quite difficult for me to be the King of England. But I always appreciated a lady. And I knew that this guy met the Queen because it was like when this guy met her, I remember we had it in the news. So I'm going to put like a photo of it here. And I was astonished. I was like, a guy met the Queen of, like, a guy of my nationality met the Queen. Damn, that guy is going, that guy is good. And yeah, I probably just talked a lot of. Oh, then I said, hey, you know what? I will not lose anything if I just send a message to this guy, telling him like, hey, I would love to meet you. This guy, I'm a kid. I don't know you. I've never seen you in my life, but I would like to meet you. And that's how I met most of the cool people I've met. I've met them through this way. I just send them a good message, and it has to be good. It has to be with passion. It has to be like, hey, I've seen what you did, and I'm a young kid. I'm enthusiastic. I will love meeting you. And I've sent lots of those messages, and thanks to those, I've met Premier League players, YouTube creators with more than 500,000 subs, ministers, big businessmen like I met the owner of Purdy Motor. I've met Max Rasinger. I've met Paulo Wanchop. I've met the Minister of Foreign Affairs when, like, the guy that was in the pandemic. So I talked to Minister of Foreign Affairs he was the Minister of Foreign Affairs in the pandemic. Right now he's not. But, like, I got to talk to him just because I sent him a message with passion. And I sent this guy a message. He didn't reply. He didn't do absolutely nothing. And I was like, oh, but I got it. I was like, yeah, it's New Year's. They're probably occupied, and I think they have a break, like the 31st and the 1st. They have the right not to work. So I thought my email was just in this crappy, in the lowest point. And I was gonna leave the 6th of January to come back to college. So it was the 5th of January. I was walking alone. It was my last day in London, so I just wanted to enjoy it by myself. Went through London Eye, bought a sausage roll with a Red Bull, was sitting up there, watching London Eye, while eating a sausage roll. And then I hear my phone tick, like the song, well, not the song, but the sound when you get an email. And I looked at it, and it was the freaking embassy of my country telling me, hey dude, you gotta, from 5 to 6, we have a time where we don't have nothing to do. If you want, you can actually come and meet the guy. But it was the same guy, it's the same day, like the 5th. Like they answered the 5th, hey, we have 1 hour for you. You can come if you want. And I was like, holy crap. Like I was not staying in the center of London, I was just with normal clothes. So I was like, okay, this is really cool. But I'm leaving tomorrow, so I have to take a strategic choice. What was my strategic choice? Well, I left everything I was doing at that moment, went to the place I was staying in, which was quite far from the center, then put in a suit, because I had to put in the suit, to look good, and then went to the embassy of Costa Rica, which was, it's not in the center of London, but kind of in the center of London. And I got to talk to him for 1 hour. I wanted to do him an interview. I wanted to do an interview with him. He didn't let me. Well, he let me, but he said, hey, I have to ask permission to the guy, and it takes time, and we only had like 1 hour to talk. So by the time he gets permission, it's like a couple of days because of the time zone difference and all of this. And he needed to ask permission in order to let me film the conversation I had with him. So I couldn't film it. But it was really cool. Like, the time I spent with that guy was one of the nicest things I've done such far this year. And we talked about how he met the Queen, which I was so interested about. We also talked, when he did something Harvard, and we talked about that. And he also was the president of a football team back home. So that was really cool as well. And we also talked about how it is being an ambassador in London. I think it's so freaking cool, man. Like, it was really good. I would love to have filmed the interview I did to him, all the conversation I had with him. I was not accepted to film it. But I still got to meet a really cool guy that I appreciated a lot. And he met the Queen, so it was even cooler. And yeah, that's how I practically have met most of the cool people that I've got the pleasure to talk about, just sending a freaking message. Because you never know, like, that message can get that far. It may all start as a joke. Like my dad, I made the ambassador of our country. I was like, you know what? That would be a good idea. Well, what I did specifically is I searched the email of the embassy. So I sent in a message telling my story, and if I could get the email of the secretary or some stuff like that. So I got the email of the secretary, and then I sent the secretary the full message. And I got to meet that guy. And I've got to meet really cool people. And right now I have a month to go in college. I have to finish it really strong. But after this month, I will like to do what I actually like to do and just meet cool people and do interviews. But yeah, it was really good times. And hopefully when this month ends, or when the 14th of April ends, I will get the pleasure to meet some more cool people. And thank you for watching this video. I know it's not a really high quality video, but exams in college, so I cannot do much, but yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next Sunday.